ancient voice, whispering from the void, and it chills my lightless heart.
G'day guys, welcome to game 3 of mOOnGLaDe versus oGsHero. We are here on the scrap station. We've come up onto this weird platform over some planet, which is a long way down, as you can see. The GLHF there from mOOnGLaDe, and of course it does say Jinro, but don't be confused, that's not actually Jinro. It is oGsHero from the OGS clan, which is a great little clan, be doing well in the GSL of course. And as we can see, our own mOOnGLaDe over here. I say our own because I'm from Australia, as you can probably tell, but he is our own mOOnGLaDe, who is now in the round of 64 in the GSL code A, so make sure you jump on board and support him. Let him know on Twitter, let him know on teamliquid.net, and all of the places around town that you're supporting our favoured Zerg son, the Eliminator from south of the equator, if you will. And we've got an Overlord just floating around here, just checking out the view. But looks as if we have a quick pylon here down at the ramp here from oGsHero. So game 1 we saw some a little bit more heavy on the Phoenix play, along with a fast expansion, a Forge fast expansion from oGsHero. Game 2 we saw but of course there was a different winner in that case. But then in game 2 we saw on Zelnug Cabins just perhaps some very great map control from oGsHero. They're doing a great job with his units, actually utilizing them really well given the terrain and the positions there, and unfortunately mOOnGLaDe sort of fell a bit behind. So we are here in game 3, the deciding game. This was from the FXO Shatter the Sky competition, which took place just in the middle of January. So these are a little bit older than anything more recent that I may have put on the channel, but they are nonetheless awesome, not to mention from a great Aussie player. So thank you for sticking around. We're going to see a hopefully awesome game. I have not actually seen any of these games before I casted them, so we do have a little bit of surprise in store for me as well. So I'm here with you guys. I have no idea what's going on, so we'll see what's happening. We do have a Nexus going on down here at the natural for oGsHero. He's got a Forge now going up, so Nexus first is generally a little bit more common on this map specifically, because it is quite easy to defend your natural, given that these rocks actually protect the side there, and of course you can block off this side of it with a gateway, a Forge, and then a pylon and a cannon, or is it a pylon? I'm not sure. I don't actually build it that way, but generally, as of course you can see, Zergs tend to go for that natural pretty quickly, as well as we saw mOOnGLaDe do. He actually went hatch first. So spawning pool now done. A couple of Zerglings on the way. Is it just one? No, it's actually none. Oh no, it's 4. They are building. They're down here. My bad. So there are a couple of Zerglings here for mOOnGLaDe. He's got one more drone transferring down to the natural expansion. Interesting to see. I'm actually really interested to see what will come out of oGsHero, because he's the one who's been doing most of the particular playmaking. Of course, with Protoss, it is a little bit. It can be a little bit more in the favor of Protoss in terms of how you actually set up your builds and how the players react. So we'll see what happens. The Queen making short work of that that probe there, dispatching that probe quite quickly there. This probe scouting around. It's interesting to see if this is just a scout for another base, or if he's actually going to put down a pylon. I would suspect he was actually just checking to make sure, because as you can see, he actually went to the gold, that the probe was just checking to see if mOOnGLaDe had done any sneaky shenanigans and gone for that third base down at the gold, but it looks as if that is obviously not the case. Zergling's not allowing this this probe to get too much happening. Did you see that? That was some fantastic micro there from Glade. He is actually going to go down to the gold, I suspect. Did you guys see that? He was actually just microing the drone here in the gas, and then moved it away from the gas when he saw that the probe was coming through. That was absolutely phenomenal. That is the play of an absolutely awesome player. Yeah, that's right. So he's going to come down here. He is actually going to take this gold. He has put that hatchery down at the gold now. Generally, that's the standard response you will see on this particular map. There we go. It's a Forge and a Cybernetics core, yeah. Anyway, that's the general response you'll see on this map from a Zerg. If you see that your Protoss opponent has come down here, they've blocked off everything, and have taken this natural quite quickly, you'll generally see that the Zerg will take the third down here at the gold, which is a really great investment. If you can hold it up, of course, you get a lot of minerals coming in, and also generally you can actually hold it for quite a long time at the start, because of course, because the Protoss normally invest quite heavily in getting this this natural up and running in a timely fashion, there's no need for, well, there's no way for them to actually attack and do any damage around the map. So as long as you've got some speedlings around, you've got some control, and you should be fine to hold that gold for the time being. Now, this will be interesting. We do have a Void Ray coming out. This is going to be the same sort of play as we saw in Game 1 on Lost Temples, so I'll be interested to see if oGsHero actually continues with the Phoenix production, because he does have one Phoenix on the way, and it looks as if mOOnGLaDe may actually lose. There's definitely going to be two Overlords that are going to be lost here. This Void Ray has taken out one, got to level 3 charge, has now lost it unfortunately though, but is still going to take out this second one. So there is a Phoenix and a Void Ray now out on the map, causing a little bit of trouble. We may see perhaps this Phoenix just scouting around to see what is happening. Meanwhile, the Void Ray just heading down here. I'm not really sure where this is going. Perhaps it's heading down. It is actually going to go spot what's happening here, then head down to the third. Meanwhile, the Phoenix still inside the main of mOOnGLaDe here, and a couple of Overlords have just finally hatched, because I believe that mOOnGLaDe was actually supply blocked just for that small period of time when the Overlord was picked off over in space, all its guts falling down to the planet. And the Void Ray has now spotted that there is a base down here, so we may see something happening from oGsHero. He knows that this is here. We may see a couple more units come down, but obviously the advantage he's got here is that this Void Ray is now at level 3 charge, kills off the spore crawler that was building. mOOnGLaDe having to build like a whole ton of them around the map there, but we'll see. Is that a lava being lifted? It is. That is pretty crazy. That's a lava being lifted in the air there, guys. But the Void Ray causing all sorts of trouble down here. If mOOnGLaDe can't hold this, this will be actually really bad for him, because he's going to lose a hatch, lose a lot of drones, and of course lose his economy that he really needed. But 2 spores are now up, a third one as well. The third's not going to get into action there, but the Void Ray is going to have to retreat there with just a tiny bit of health, 7 health left over on that Void Ray. So it is definitely one lucky Void Ray pilot, this dude here, with his fancy little helmet and all that crap. But we do see mOOnGLaDe once again switching into the Hydra Ling combo, which he's going to use to make sure he can fend off any of those Protoss flyers that are around the map, or any ground forces as well, because Hydras do a great job against gateway units. So we got 2 creep tumors out here. We've got a third one over here as well, so 3 active creep tumors for the moment. Looks as if mOOnGLaDe's going to run around, see if he can pick off some of these Phoenix if they run into the wrong spot at the wrong time. But I would not be surprised. There it is. We do see some transfers going down from those drones from the main and the natural of mOOnGLaDe. A spore crawler going up here at the natural as well. This will provide obviously some defense against the Phoenix, and of course against the Void Ray if it happens to poke its ugly head around again. A Queen, unfortunately, her ugly head getting picked off here by the Phoenix. The Phoenix spotting her just sitting around in the middle of nowhere, and they've picked her off. There are 5 Phoenix flying around. This is not really that cool for mOOnGLaDe at all. He's going to lose a couple more Overlords here as well. The Hydra's trying to come in from the south to actually pick off these Phoenix, but they're not going to be able to do it before too much damage is done. The Spore Crawler underneath all of that actually doing a lot of damage there. We only have now 2 Phoenix left over. Once again, actually, this is like a mirror of Game 1 on Lost Temple, where Hero used a lot of Phoenix Harass to take control of the map and obviously bog down mOOnGLaDe in his supply and his building of his units, and also take the island. He did that in Lost Temple as well, so interesting to see that he's done essentially the exact same build here. And yep, there it is. We've got a couple of Colossi starting to pop out as well. I would not be surprised if there are a few Void Rays which start popping out as well, and we do see signs of that. A couple of pylons going up to make sure he's got supply, and of course a second Stargate as well. So do not be surprised if we see a few more Colossi, a little bit more Void Ray, and we'll be all good to go. And what a recipe for destruction that'll be. mOOnGLaDe moving out with his creep tumors. I would not be surprised if he actually attempts to bust through the rocks and perhaps try some sort of timing attack on the base here of oGsHero if he can. And Overlord just coming in here to spot what he can. Knows that the Colossi are all done there, and of course these Phoenix also going to town on that Overlord that was coming through. So mOOnGLaDe knows what is happening here in the base of oGsHero. He's going to need to make sure he has some counters to the Colossi and of course to the Void Rays, and it looks as if he's doing a great job of that so far, spreading out his creep for the Hydras. As we can see there, the creep gym almost catching up with some of the Overlords that are spewing creep down on the ground. And the roaches coming across because, no, it's in fact the Hydras that he wants to bring up here, because the Phoenix coming around again for another pass, Star Wars style, and taking out one of those Overlords there. So mOOnGLaDE still having a bit of trouble trying to maintain his map dominance, but looks as if he's going to have a nice little pathway through here with these creep chimers. If he can just pop them across the ridge there, he'll be able to then see what is happening on the Protoss side of things. But it looks as if some Zealots have actually come down here to this particular expansion. I would not be surprised if there was a Warp Prism somewhere. Sorry about that, I didn't actually notice it, but either way, we do have some Phoenix over here as well helping out, but it looks as if the Zealots are going to go down. The Spore Crawlers going to town on those Phoenix as well, and some more Corruptors flying in to do what they can, but they're just a little bit late to the party. And we obviously got a little bit of a downsizing of those drones here. The this gold expansion losing a few of its drones. You don't need as many to fully saturate a gold expansion anyway, but either way, it's good to make sure you have a lot of drones everywhere if possible. So we have the Warp Prism dropping off a probe here in this fourth base for our Protoss player oGsHero. Meanwhile, he's flying around these Phoenix doing some crazy stunts in their little crazy ships. They look like Lego ships, I swear. But mOOnGLaDE's still doing a great job of macroing up. We're currently sitting at mOOnGLaDE on 165 supply. Meanwhile, there it is, the whole bunch of Void Rays which have popped out, and that means that oGsHero is currently on 163 supply. So we'll see if anything happens from here. mOOnGLaDE now finally spotting this expansion. Did not know that one was there. A couple of cannons going to work on the Overlord there. Taking out that, he's going to put up a couple more cannons to make sure he can't be dropped, but of course the other problem could be a Nidus Worm, so he's got to be prepared for that as well. The Phoenix just coming along just to make sure that everything is all hunky-dory over here as well. Overlord coming through. We're going to see what this Overlord can see. He's just flying over to the natural here. Can see that a couple more buildings have gone up here. Sees that a Templar Archives is all done there. Is a whole heap of Void Rays, and of course the Colossi as well. So looks as if oGsHero gearing up for a very, very big attack here. We do have mOOnGLaDE currently sitting on 194 supply, 200 now, so he's fully maxed out. Let's just have a look at the upgrades. We do have mOOnGLaDE with +2 to ranged attack. He's got +1 to Zerg Flyers, +1 to ground Carapaces on the way as well. Not really sure if this is the greatest position for mOOnGLaDE just at the moment. I'm sort of not too sure just for the moment, but Blink, Psystorm, +1 weapons, +2 weapons, sorry, are on the way from our Protoss player oGsHero. So he's definitely going to tech up quite hard right now to make sure he's prepared for any attacks that might come in from mOOnGLaDE. Now this expansion, I'm a bit surprised that mOOnGLaDE hasn't tried to do anything over here about it. Obviously, it can be a little bit hard when you got to try and maintain your map dominance with Phoenix flying around like this, being really annoying, and the Corruptors are going to have to try and make sure they can clear that guy off. But it looks as if this one's going to get away without any. This expansion's going to get away without any hassle at all. So does mOOnGLaDE actually know about this expansion over here? He does not. So doesn't know about that one just yet. This Warp Prism, let's keep an eye on that, because that may be flying around to cause some trouble, and a couple more cannons have gone up here to defend this one. So we'd really want to see perhaps some harass from mOOnGLaDE to make sure that he's keeping on top of the Protoss army and make sure the economy is not easily in shape, but we'll see what happens. Looks as if that Warp Prism just flying along here gets spotted by an Overlord, and there we go, we see the click of the Corruptors there coming across. The Corruptors going to pick off that Warp Prism, so we don't need to worry about that. The Roaches coming in here, these rocks are going to go down, and it looks as if mOOnGLaDE's going to march in here with his Roaches, Lings and Hydras and try and take care of this base. This is what we wanted to see, some cleanup of the Protoss economy, as we can see there, and this is all going to go down. Nothing is going to be saved here. Let's just have a look at the economy stats for these players. We've got oGsHero actually still slightly ahead of mOOnGLaDE, but that'll probably even out a little bit more in just a second once the once that base the lack of that base actually kicks into the counter there. Yeah, we sort of got both these players sitting around 1600 mineral income. Both of them on, well, actually just one of them on 4 base, that's mOOnGLaDe, and of course oGsHero is currently sitting on 3 base, but it looks as if this is a massive force, not one to contend with lightly. As we can see, +1 air weapons is actually done for these Void Rays, so they're going to do a lot of damage. The Stalkers, Zealots, Sentries, and Colossi all in a great big ball there. The Corruptor's going down on those with those Void Rays, and the Stalkers of course as well. Storms going down all over the place. This is not an engagement for mOOnGLaDe to go into. I would think there is just so much power here with these Colossi with their +2 to weapons, +1 to armor, and of course extended thermal lance is already done as well. +3 weapons is almost done now, so this is not a good spot for mOOnGLaDe. This is a really powerful ball here from oGsHero. If he can keep this alive and then keep some of the map control, I would say he's in a really good position. I'm not sure what mOOnGLaDe's going to do. This is, as we said, very powerful, something very hard to actually stop as a Zerg player, depending on how you actually react to it. His reaction at the moment is to grab some Broodlords. He's got a lot of Corruptors out already. He's going to see if he can take care of everything, but I do not think it is going to be enough. Void Rays obviously doing extra damage to massive units, if I remember correctly, versus armored, but they're going to be able to take care of a lot of those Corruptors. And it looks as if this gold is now gone. It's not too much of a consequence for mOOnGLaDe because it was essentially mined out anyway, as you can see here. But this massive death ball of Protoss units is going to need to be stopped, and stopped soon, because this is just going to leave mOOnGLaDe with no map control. The Corruptor's coming in a nice position there, shooting at some of those Void Rays, taking some of them out, taking little shots everywhere at some of those Void Rays. But Storm's taking out a whole heap of those Corruptors. Still a not really good position for mOOnGLaDe. He's currently not actually building anything. He is way up in the army count, though. He's still currently sitting at 200 max supply for the moment. Let's just have a look at the resources. He's currently sitting at 2k minerals and only a tiny bit of gas, so not too many more Broodlords will pop out for the moment. He's going to need to get another base and get it quickly, because if these Broodlords die, this may be the end of it. And it looks as if the Corruptor's sitting off to the side there. See if they can snipe off some of these Colossi. If they can, that'd be awesome for mOOnGLaDe. If he can pick off some of the Stalkers and then perhaps some of the Void Rays as well, he will get right back into this, but not really sure how he's going to move into it from here. He's going to need to be very careful with the way he moves. The Broodlord's now moving into position here. They're going to start shooting away at these units here. The Hydra's moving in. No storms going off. There you go. Finally some storms going off from our Protoss player oGsHero, cleaning up all of those Hydras, as you can see down here. The Broodlord's still doing heaps of damage. A lot of those Corruptors going down, although, as you can see, a lot of these Protoss units have gone down as well, so the Broodlord's providing a lot of damage there. The Void Rays are still alive though, and there's a GG. So mOOnGLaDe not actually winning this particular series, so he falls out there. Unfortunately, just this massive death ball of Protoss units and the absolutely huge income of oGsHero actually winning the game there, I would say. The Broodlords, unfortunately, just not enough to get rid of this force. As you can see here, this that sort of switch there with the Void Rays is generally what you would want to see in the end of the end game of Protoss, because the Void Rays just provide an answer to just about everything the Zerg can throw at you. So great little game there, great series between these guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. As we said at the start, make sure you jump on Team Liquid and show your support for mOOnGLaDe, who is now over in Korea, and he's going to be playing in the Code A round of 64, so we will see him on GOM TV shortly once that all starts up. And I hope you guys cheer him on and show some support. Thanks to Dell for showing these replays to me, and of course to FXO throwing up a great little competition here as well. Going to do some more replays of some of these matches from the FX Open, the Shatter the Sky competition, and we'll see some of those going up shortly. But in the meantime, thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.